Uh, okay. I think we're okay here, folks. Let me check over. Boop, boop. Don't need there. Over there. I don't know. Can everybody hear me? Should be able to. And yeah, if you're on YouTube, it's going to look weird. Maybe sound a little weird because it's on a different computer. Seems like everybody is round. All right, and if you're on YouTube, as I've said, if you want to watch in a few minutes, we'll be over on Twitch because I can't show shit on YouTube. But didn't say anything about audio. So we'll try the audio. What I'm gonna end up doing is letting the audio stream run on YouTube, links over to Twitch, and then we'll go over to Twitch and do our thing. But either way, Twitch is using the normal setup. YouTube is using weird backup thing. Couldn't use a Google number for Twitch. I don't know why you're having so much problems there, C2S. That is frustrating. Because I have everything set up so that once you're like in, you shouldn't have any extra requirements. I don't know, man. Wish I could help you more with that one. But I guess do your best. Or, I don't know. Or at least why. I mean, just so you know, if you're on YouTube and you type, we'll still see it on Twitch. So that many people are going to want to do that necessarily, but would be a workaround. But either way, we got, see, Frankie was here earlier. C2S was that Sparky. Oh, Norman, what's up? Serious Sparks, Zed Zinger, Zen Zinger, James Randolph. Like I said, Franco, Ricard DB, Ricard Dib. Anyway, fucking YouTube, get a burner. Yeah, I use, what did I use? I used my work phone on one. I thought I used my Google number on one of my alt accounts. I don't know. Quiet audio on YouTube, but I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, actually, I have YouTube turned down a little bit. I can turn it up some. That's a little louder. Yeah, I mean, the audio levels on YouTube, I have no reference because I've not used them on this computer. But luckily, like I've said earlier, this microphone has dual output. So, same audio to both. I just got to figure out. I do pay for an ad-free YouTube. Yeah, I can watch with shit. I can watch with Twitch and chat with YouTube. Nice to see double chat. Yeah, we'll still see the double chat Twitch side, but and there'll be a little bit on the YouTube side. I'm just running like a thumbnail that there'll be like a little bit of chat over here, just so you can kind of see what's going on. But yeah, it's normal level on. Should be normal level on Twitch, but not much else to do over on the YouTube. Guess I'll toast everybody to at least pop in if you want. Like I said, there's links all over the place if you want to hang out on Twitch. I was able to use my Google number anywhere for years because it was a cell number ported and it wasn't flagged as a VoIP. Yeah, I wonder if that's what's up with my number because I'm pretty sure it's what I used for at least one of my accounts. Just do your best, I guess. You may have to talk to Twitch. Maybe their C2S to sort it. I don't know. I wish I could help you out more. But, yeah, I guess we'll just get to it. Like, there's nothing super specific on the agenda today. I got more stuff in from Amazon. We're just going to do what we can today, mount what we can, clean up, take some specs. Might be a little while, might not. I mean, I'm sure it's going to be a little while, at least getting all the specs. And I'm going to record so that I can go back later and write the specs down to see like which ones I actually need or which ones matter. So, uh, okay, yeah. So I guess there, YouTube, ready to flip that thumb over. If you want to continue watching, hey, C2S got a. Oh no, that was on YouTube. All the purple thing. What's up, JNM? How you doing? Again, I apologize to those on YouTube because their terms of service or on firearms are extremely strict, changing pretty much every day, and I'm not quite ready to get banned from YouTube. But Twitch just says as long as you're safe, do it up. And pretty safe considering there's no live. I don't own any live ammunition like at all. Not on a property, not in the house. It's just here and with some blanks, some stuff. So, let me go over here. I'm gonna go ahead and flip that thumbnail view on and go from there. Oh, let's see. Only popping in for a second to say hi. 15's a nice beef. I've held a few before. They're frogs. Yeah, and I'll be here for a little while if you want to pop back in. You might be able to use an IoT sim. Oh, Internet of Things sim. I need to mess around with the burner. Yeah. Funny seeing as I watched the Bud Dwyer video on YouTube. Yeah, and like I've said, some people they get away with it, some people don't. Kind of like what I got here on YouTube. Not gonna mess it up because like we have fun and we have more stuff to build, so I can't get banned. Breathing ammunition, yeah, breath isn't horrible. Also, everyone listened to some Rainbow Kitten surprise today in memory of my friend. She died right next to me 4 days ago. Rest in peace. Good frogs. Sorry to hear about that. Some good vibes your way. Ammunition with a heartbeat. I don't have a cat launcher per se, but that may be even in Maryland considered a weapon of mass destruction. A cat launcher. What am I looking at? Let's see, other falling. Okay. Well, YouTube. You want to watch? You gotta kind of come over to Twitch. Sorry about that. Like I said, that's on YouTube. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip that thumb view right. And that's what YouTube's going to see for the next coming time. Like I said, you can see the chat's kind of up there, but that's what we got to do. And hell, I don't know, I may even get in trouble for this because it's audio, but I have no idea. I'm not showing anything. So, hi, Twitch. Let's, I'll just get right into it. I don't necessarily have a specific order I'm going to go in, but just a rough order. YouTube is effectively screwed, which sucks because know a lot of you on YouTube. That's kind of just what you got. But you just liked the band. Oh, is that a band? Oh, okay. Oh, okay. That was a kitty. Let's move over. Probably going to be lots of banging on the microphone. No, because we are moving in an area with bigger, more stuff. All right, as you can see, it's safe. Reaching it. Or the plug. Let's see, what can we get rid of to that just pops off. If you have one of these, like you adjust it by pushing it in, but if you pull it out, you can slide it off the buffer. And this, if I showed before, yeah, I showed this last night. This has storage things for batteries. Doesn't fit an 18650, but it fits the CR123s that are in a lot of stuff, or just whatever you can do of them. Double O-ringed, so they apparently seal very well. Oh, and last night I went ahead and I stuck my grip on there, like I needed to do something. Red X, appreciate the break on through to the other. Nice water pistol, bolt carrier. Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, bolt carrier. Breach. Well, yeah. Okay. Anyway, what are we gonna do? First, I'd like to just hit the 10. I said, new to this, so I'm still remembering little intricacies. Still got it. Oh, right, I got it. When I'm doing that, the bolt was in the tube. Remember, I didn't say I was coming on here pro style. Still learning. Still learning all the little things of like, if this is in, if this is set, if that's over here, if that's over there. Oh, this is covering the serial. Of like when things lock and when they do certain stuff. I'm still learning all that. But getting there. So our objective on here is to release the trigger. I'm going to pull this out, and there's a couple surfaces on here we're going to kind of polish up. I have some 1500, and I have sharpening stones. The stones apparently is pretty recommended, especially because they're flat. I've never done this before, but I know you start here with the hammer released. You got to watch because there's spring tension, because it'll point out. Rifleman, with a moniker like mine, I wouldn't miss this. Yeah. Here, I'm gonna hold that in from what I understand. And these pins, they just good. Anyway, just push right, kind of just push right out. Anything really holding them, as far as I know, is spring tension. And the spring's loose, it's not wanting to move. And so we need to give it a little, which isn't usual for this. Little tap tap. You shouldn't be having to slam it. Just a little tap tap. Like I said, you're fighting spring tension spells. Are we going to see a blindfolded reassembly? We are not. Here. Apparently with the safe, and you can manipulate this. In this flat part of it. You do that. Oh, guy, he pushed it. Do you just push the safe piece? It also get. What do you got, Ed? Thought you could get messing with the safety, unless that's just certain. Oh, here comes it. Okay. Full blindfold, field strip clean, rear assembly, load, and single blank fire. Not that. Oh, you got to get the pistol grip on. I have tools to get the pistol grip off. There are a lot of different things, and not everything comes with the tool. Very slowly pull it. Oh, that's right. There's a spring in there. That's the that's the safety detent. Do I have to fit that? Wow, this may be quick. I didn't know I was gonna. Pinch us. Stop it. Mine has a socket cap. Yeah, this is a Torx. Does not fit a 20. Oh, that's quarter inch. Oh, T4. Missing. According to Mo, this particular freedom is the literal source of America. Oh my god, 8 different adapters. Use that because that's going to over torque, I imagine. But I need. Is this so difficult? Oh, just happened. Bingy bingy. BOF followed. Hopefully, I won't be. I'll be a good host. Wasn't in there super tight. It was probably there. Ed Sim followed me. Feel intentional. Shame you can't just do this on YouTube. Oh, look at that little guy. There. Is there anything in there? There. Now the safety. You? Forgot that had that spring in there. I remember reading about it. And those pins, as far as I know, are the same. Put back together, having never done this before. Okay. Here we are. Group. Surfaces we're going to be dealing with. Real fast surface right there. That where you see the miscoloration, that's the little ledge that keeps the gun from going boom. And oh, there it is. Not that. That little hook. That's trigger. Back. Forward. Up. Firing. And there will be evidence of mild use to this because they test them, basic testing. Is that a Freedom spring? Freedom! The Freedom spring would be this one, the one that does, I think, more of the tension than anything. But the point of this is to make it smoother on the trigger. So that the trigger doesn't feel like gritty or have extra resistance to it. Sloop John Keys. I feel like I know what John here used to. Either way, I appreciate the 1500 intermediate. Ooh, not that. 2000. All right, that seems to be the one most people are using. Yeah, we don't. Jesus, 10,000. It just feels like a piece of marble. Like how they pack them. That way they don't show up all broken because they're banging against each other the whole trip. Buffer spring is up there too. Yeah, up that we have grease for putting. Actually, Ed will be familiar with, or Zenzinger. That will go on the buffer spring. Synthetic, not super tacky, but it sticks. It quote absorbs into the metal, you know, as the good stuff does, especially once it gets warm. We're gonna go with. I have more stuff on the way, other various looby stuff. That'll be for the trigger mechanism. The most of the rest of it will LP. This is not the lubricate or the lubriplate. This is the stuff that gets on there and kind of dries a little bit, but doesn't get super sticky. First, we have to do this ledge with flat, and then this little hook in there. Just going to polish up with, I have some 1500 sandpaper. Just put a little bit there. Way more than needed. Actually, no, it's absorbing. This, you just got to hold it very flat. Long stroke. Hear that grit. You can kind of hear it. Some guys will even take bluing and put it on here to make sure they have. Oh yeah, I can actually feel it touching here and there. You don't want to polish through the hardened surface or on the trigger or the sears. Oh yeah, yeah, this is just very light. Not trying too hard. Want to make that nice and smooth. Get any little burrs off. The oil just kind of helps. It feels like. Right. Good. Haven't even shot it yet and already voiding the warranty. Yes, Mike, that's, I mean, come on, man. I'm a car guy and a computer guy. You know, the word warranty just isn't in our vocabulary. That, and anytime I get something new, I got to find something technical. What? While this isn't technical electrons, this is still, technical slash 3D. And I'm saying that to everybody, not just Mr. Killa. War on T. No, I don't have a war on T just yet. He is fine. I haven't actually drank tea in a while, but it's already, like, we've already polished off that little bit of discoloration. That tells me right there it's getting flatter already. Just a little bit, though. And so that I explain to people, when I get into a hobby, you're really fucking into it at first. Hence the reason why about 5 weeks of going to, how's that work? To, like, doing this. Like, I'm not expecting a company to be able to deeper to this much degree. Yeah. Stuff. I mean, that's pretty much it. Scruff is the warranty. Yeah, kind of. It's quote self-warranting. Not as polished as some people do, but see, cleaner than it. That's good. That's there. Now to put the springs on because I didn't take a picture, but people here that can remind me. Guess I'm pretty much done. Just 1500. Used it to mess around and polish a knife. Yeah, I mean, they actually polish a knife too with it. Entirely possible. I'm not going for pro stat polish. I'm just trying to get the big stuff off. Like, the trigger already feels really good. But there was a little bit of grittiness in it on the pullback, on the take up, I guess you'd call it. Just a little bit. 10,000, that does indeed sound like sawdust blown onto a sheet of phone book paper, says Frankie. Yeah, I didn't know they really had 10,000, but I guess if you're working on a samurai. That's already smoother. And most of the time, I'm not going to lie, a lot of this trigger job is just forcing me to take it apart and put it back together again, just so I can learn. Pretty much all I'm going to do to that. The other surfaces, like if I polish that a little bit, that'll help with the reset. I'm not too worried. Like a mirror in 2 seconds, then it's, Sometimes the greediest is the springs rubbing on themselves and the pins. Oh, yeah, I mean, it could be pretty much anything, I think. 10 grade K grit is high. Oh, it's very high. It's the same reason you did the trigger on yours, mediocre. Just, yeah, I mean, like, give yourself a reason to learn. pieces. Neat. Okay, I'm not taking the ejector off. That's really not something, because that you got to pull on this one. You got to like pull a pin out and stuff, but that's not. This is your buffer spring and buffer weight. So when you fire the weapon, the breech carrier group comes back here, hits that, and just presses the shit out of itself into the spring to absorb the recoil, and then it shoves it back out. You can get different weights of springs, depending on barrel length, accessories, suppressor, stuff like that. Pretty much dry. There's a vague oil on it. But we're gonna use something loud and shaky. Boom. Good stuff. I use it on chains, forklifts, fucking springs, pins. It gets used, and I've never had a problem with it. No, the easiest. There we go. Not too much. Where? Oh, it's dripping out the bottom. This is the stuff you spray it and it dries later. Oh yeah, there's a little quote drainish hole out from that. Not much. That's the damn green stuff I've been looking for. Oh yeah, I got 2 or 3. Try not to get this stuff everywhere because it is a very thin lubricant until it dries. Dries in about 15-20 minutes. And it makes a mess of everything, but you really should only have to do this once unless you start changing stuff on your gun. Which, there may be a suppressor showing up in or so. See how that goes. Alright. That's done. If I can find an extra can of this stuff, Ed, I'll set it on the side. Set it on the side for you. It is good stuff. When it gets, yeah, my leg's nice and lubricated now. Shorts are nice and good. Guess they'll just fall off of me later. Rip out, but that's fine. Alright, so we got that, and I guess that means I gotta figure out how to put the trigger back. Let's see, is there a cheat sheet for the springs on here? You'd think there would be. They don't actually even show this. Oh, there's that. Oh, this one I can see. Let's see. Oh, the big one goes on the sphere. That I believe. Here. Feel like that, Ed? Or Mike, actually, yeah, both of you are here. Oh yeah, well, yeah, trigger first, but I'll get the springs on. Compressor equals silencer, hence they call car mufflers in Australia. Loop behind the hammer. Is that what goes in there? There. probably this real quick. Taking 5 minutes. Add this. That sits like that. Yay, internet. Right? Talking to y'all. That's right, right? And this. There we go. All right. I can fix that front. Yay, spring. Okay. Okay. Trigger first. That just drops right in. I'll touch it with some grease after everything's assembled. Actually, no. Touch it with grease. Except. I forgot to grab. A little bit. It's already starting to thicken up in the tray. Kind of pre-paint it a little bit. But yeah, obviously you don't want to leave like a ton of excessive. Twitch is a bitch. Not getting paused by Twitch for typing too much too quickly. Yeah, that ain't me. Does it matter which way the grooves go on the pin? I feel like it went in this. Oh, that's fine. A needle. Not really. The legs of the. Oh, okay. The legs hit that. Okay. If you say so. And yeah, the safety. I'm supposed I can. Watch. Well, I'm not using like the fluffy end. Just enough to get a pinch in there. Forgetting a piece. Stop. Stop. Oh, am I forgetting this little guy? Oh, so I got to take that back out. Okay, yeah. Yep. Thank you, everyone. Another reason why you do stuff like this. You get all your homies to help. good? We good? Oh, I gotta get the pin through. This is the part I've seen people have big issues with here. Where'd it go? I realize this is probably painful for some of the people that know what you're doing. And if at any point you feel like you need to cry, by all right, disconnect. Okay. Just keep an eye on chat for stuff like stop, pause. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yes. Now these legs, do these sit on top of the pin, the trigger pin, or do they slide under it? I feel like they sit on top. I feel like they sit on top of that pin, and that's it. Locks in. Now you're good. Just keep on. Don't need you making an NFA. Oh yeah, that's. Pins are under the trigger. You gotta. So I should have put the hammer in first to get the pins under the thing. Did I do that in the wrong order, or you just gotta kind of make it work? So I'll wait for that. The disconnector has a tiny cool spring. Saw that. A tiny urethane buffer sitting inside the coils. Yeah, there's another one of those on the. So the pin, there's this pin. These spring legs are supposed to be here, not here. It is on top. Okay, that's what I thought. Because when you said the spring locks it into that groove, I'm looking and I'm like, well, that's exactly where that groove is. Okay. Thought so, because I haven't seen anybody having to, like, maneuver. The stream keeps stopping for a split second. Shouldn't be. Is it, or is anybody else seeing it like a weird stutter? I take it this is the difficult spring to get in. David Garcia. This is just a weird one to get in. Whoa. Yeah, hold on that. Whoa. Can't imagine they're doing this the hardest way possible. Oh, and that's the other thing. If you're experiencing some weird issues with Twitch, like switch to 1080 because the 1440 is still in beta for Twitch. And people have been having some weird issues with it. There we go. Okay. So now we have to do something with this safety. I'm doing good. Is that an AK? No, this is a AR-15. That's going to make it in there. Okay, now what am I missing? Because I know we have to take this out to get the trigger off. That's... Ah, there it is. Knock it. There we go. Upside down. All right. That. Make sure the hammer and trigger work together. Yeah, I did that. Good. Lucky. Oh, oh no, that goes there. Here, spring thing. You can disassemble the AK-47 in seconds. Well, I could probably disassemble this in maybe not quite seconds, but a lot faster than went in. Again. Put in there. Spring is there. Let's hold this the other way. I'm not going to actually see what I'm doing. Little tiny hole. Yeah. Almost pulled the trigger and dry fired that against the frame. Okay. Totally missed. Not the trigger group on the AK, the rest of the rifle, yeah. What's up, Frank? Netter Betty. Got a magnetic bit. Trying to get lucky and drop it. Figures. Fell into the hole right after the washer fell off. Probably helped if I had the T-27 that the kit was supposed to have. This isn't fitting. Like it's a 25 is enough to tighten a 25, or 25 is enough to tighten a 27 when you're not using super high torque. But it doesn't fit very well for insertion. Let's see if that other sitting around here. I just don't see it. See what we got for flatheads. Just so we're not beating our heads against. Rather take a little extra time. Oh wait, this is the weird fucking weird setup. This is real. Like, I feel like I just need to get a whole new set of fucking tools. Don't know what I need until now. Blicky in there. Up. Oh, yeah. Tight, tight. I will make it work. Make it work. Life's thing. I'll make it work. I always say I'll make it work. It's setting at Newton meters. I forget. I know how it felt coming. Oh, cool. All right, so that's there. Do I have anything? I don't really have anything on here I need to spec out. When the grease gets here, I may stick a. I have Mil Spec grease showing up. I may put some of that in there, but I don't really think I need to. Like, these run pretty good. Weird call by IWI on the Torx. Yeah, no, it's not like a car where you put Torx bits on like sensitive stuff because like you change grips out. I mean, yeah, I know it's a B5 grip, but you know, still gonna want to change it eventually. Well, I guess that's about it for down here. I don't really need to measure anything. Doing this, most of that's going to be in the bulk carrier group. All right, it's back on there. All right. A little gas tube. So in case you don't understand how these work, because I didn't, in here, all along here, and if you see that little, kind of see something is in there. So there's a hole drilled in the barrel. This is a gas block. And this little tube connects all the way up here. So that when the cartridge ignites and the bullet comes out, you know, you got all this pressure, you know, starting here where the breech is, and it just, you know, the bullet's going out, going out. You got this pressure chamber that's slowly expanding, and then as soon as the bullet passes this, some of that pressure that's pushing out also pushes up back. And when that happens, a bunch of shit goes, pressure comes blowing out of the tube. That goes into gas key, and that combustion blows into this chamber and gets everything a moving. So this is mostly what I wanted to spec out and get initial reading. There's your firing. Ham pin. And this, there's even a little, like you were mentioning earlier, like a spring and a cushion thing that's in here. But I'm not going to bother messing with that. That would be something I'd check later. Mostly want to get length and diameters. Check the measurement for that little ring right there. That's like your little guide for in there. Had to take apart an AR-7. It's the little brother of the 16. Took a couple attempts to reassemble it correctly since it wasn't put together properly when I had acquired it. Yeah, I'll try not to be that guy. A couple drops of oil on the mag release and bolts. Oh, yeah, okay, that's true. Yeah, I'll do that on the final. Like I said, I'm recording this video as well so that if I need to, I can go back and get all these measurements. Actually, let's do this in inch. Well, I know you can get the specs, or I can just watch a couple of YouTube channels and figure that out. Scale. What do we got here? Someone just subscribed. Shooters TV and Frank Netterbetti. Or yeah, all kinds of stuff here going on. Sub goal 25. Appreciate that, y'all. Any help? Any yeah, any help will help. You know what I mean? We got that. This kind of measure, but as this thing stretches, or hopefully doesn't, hard to get a good reading out of it. Pretty. Like I said, this particular one you generally use in a go no go gauge. What bing bong? Schemes. Schemes? Just let me know if it's E or I. Clems. Man, not Clems. What's up, bud? All right. Did I get the overall link? Good. I can. You can see it, and I know what it is. Really, this you don't really fix. Cross. Exactly 0.74. I don't have my super long one to measure overall length. That's actually on the way. And I need a openings while we can. All the 16. 0.624. That 0.6225. Okay. 0.53, 0.5295, 0.5. Maybe just kind of wiggling it and trying to move it just to find there. Is there an ad break? But there was an ad break. Oh yeah, I guess some people are going to see ad break. Ad break, remove break. And apparently, if the bolt comes with the IWI logo on it, from what I understand, it's a slightly better batch or slightly improved. I don't know. Not quite sure exactly. Pin. Most of the things should be in inches as far as specs go. I guess we can do firing pin length because that is obviously a thing. The hammer hits here, and that little guy hits the primer. Yeah, that value was staying. Like I said, I don't know the exact specs. All I know is apparently on this, I believe you should see 667, not 666. I believe that's the one guy. One of these, you measure it, and if it comes up 667, you're good. If it's 666, you're bad. That's kind of what I remember about that. Yeah, I'm not going to bother taking these. Ooh, as it should. So in case you didn't know, clean this best I can. This little guy right there, that little button, that's spring loaded. And what happens, when this cartridge goes into the breech, this slams home. And you can see it fits. Well, if you push it, it'll fit in there. So as this is sitting in there, this little guy, see there's a separate little piece right there? That's the extractor. And this is the ejector button, or ejector, or whatever. So as it's sitting in there, this ejector, this is seated in here, and that little button is pushing on it, but it's stuck because it's, you know, in the barrel and everything's together. What happens when you fire, you know, you get that gas thing I was telling you about. That gas, when it comes into this key, comes in there, and these little rings here act as piston rings. This area right here is a fucking chamber, like a combustion chamber. So that comes in, blows when you press the, you know, when you pull the trigger, the gas comes in here. Oh, it goes up the barrel, comes down the tube, goes in here, hits this, blows it back, basically forward to the barrel. And as soon as that doesn't move, which it really just doesn't move at all, then the rest of the force blows this back. You can see it's got that hole there, and this ends up, it's kind of got to see it. I'm explaining it. As this comes back, this breech turns, unlocks itself, and it just pulls the whole thing back. But anyway, while that's happening, this is sitting there, and as this comes back, your extractor hooks it just like that. Gives it a good hook, but obviously it's coming straight back. And then as soon as the uh, casing clears hole, the combination of that hook and that little spring button is what actually flings the round out. That and the momentum of everything moving back. Probably explain that horribly. The other check you do is see if the bolt carrier can support its own weight, because those Yeah, like I said, those are your sealing rings. And you also want to make sure they're kind of staggered. Um, they got the little things in them. You kind of want to stagger them just to help slow the blow by. Recall something about that number 66. Yeah, it's the number of the ice cream. That's what I heard. So that's all measured. And I've seen some people say that when you put the cam pin back in, since the breech rides on the side of it, or the bolt rides on the side of it, and it rides on the side of the breech carrier like it's rubbing, they say, kind of similar to brakes, you should put it back in the same direction, be it this way or that way. Because some manufacturers actually have a stamp in it to show you which direction it goes. This does not, but that little light blemish right, I'm going to use that. And I saw this last night. I'm always going to face that towards the bolt. That way this pin always goes back in the same way. Even if it doesn't need to, rather go ahead and, you know, go with that just in case it is. Heard that from a couple gun tubers. So, well, I know that doesn't necessarily mean it's gospel. I feel like they probably have a better idea than me. Yeah, you should be able to flick it out because that's actually how you put it back in the upper. You have to flip it out. Otherwise, it doesn't natural. And there's, like I said, there's something mechanical in there that it won't work on and it gets hung up and shit. If the gas system is efficient, staggering it doesn't matter. Yeah, that's true. I'm a car guy. I'm always going to stagger rings unless I'm specifically told not. All right. We got to put that back in right after we start. Need the stone. Clean up a little. Need the stones. We're not going to need the brushes. Just had it probably just a round or two through it to make sure it works. So before I slap this back in, we're going to hold on a second. Obviously, like, dangerous. This part of an unloaded gun. No ammunition in, like, even on the property. I don't even own it. Okay? See as much down there as I hoped. Stick the flashlight in the back. You can kind of see, you can see the rifling in there. Be able to pick that up. Does that stamp enable one to post? Which stamp? Look through the breach with a bright light. Yeah, I can see it, but I'm not going to see that. That's a very specific aim. And like I said, I'll be hitting the microphone. Ah, okay. They make a fiber optic chamber flag for that. For what? Getting light down the barrel? Like inspecting the barrel? Not too much. You don't want to overdo it. Definitely don't want to get any oil into the combustion. And you don't need a, generally speaking, you just want to give it a good coating, wipe it around. Easier to tell where to lube once the rifle is a little bit older because you can actually see the wear surfaces. Going off of memory. Don't stick it in these holes. That's not where it goes. That's into the combustion chamber. Stretch from C2S. 1 second. Cam, wrong cam. Cam. Everybody cam. Cam. Oh, cam. Cam. I'm like, nah, the cam pin's right here. The cam's there. It's good. Yeah, cam. Camera, right. So anyway, I'm putting lube here, here, here. I know that's the hot spots, and then just kind of a bit everywhere, but not in here. No, that's basically the bleed off if the combustion is inefficient. That's a bleed off area. I think that's the. Yeah, and this is. I think they're both bleed off areas, aren't they? If I'm not mistaken. Give it a good spanking. Spanking. Right. And this is like you put it on, put everything back together, then you wipe off any of the stuff that's laying around. But again, there are certain spots you just don't really need lubricant. Recent, yeah. I'm worried about the forward. So this is the forward assist. Anyway, this is the forward assist button. Here. This is one of those things, it's there if you need it, but if you need it, you need to stop. Like, it's really only useful, I would say, if you're in the middle of combat and everything goes wrong. But basically, this is there with these little ratchet teeth that if you send the bolt home and it doesn't fully seat, it doesn't pop all the way in, you can smash this to try and push it up. Just slam the bolt or slam the cartridge into the chamber or slam the bolt into the chamber. Yeah, I don't like. There's even some that don't even come with that anymore. Don't really use them because if you have that much of a problem, probably got a bigger problem. Oof. Besides that, that's most of what you need to oil and clean. And clean the barrel out when I get the snake in, but that big a deal. I mean, it's not like it's dirty, but I'm going to start clean anyway. What's the spec of the grease needed for this? Basically, just anything, preferably synthetic. Most people like to go with synthetic on it. Something that's not super sticky tacky, like in the trigger group kind of thing. You just want to get an oil that's is least amount of sticky as possible, but still lubey. And apparently in the trigger, you want slightly thicker, hence the green stuff, which is going to be pretty thick by now. Oil on the lighter areas. Rackies call it the sniper button. Oil the forward assist just so it doesn't run. Oh, yeah, that's true. This. Oh, yeah, it actually works. See, yeah, I can clicking, and sometimes it's crack. That's when it's slipping past one of the teeth. Nice lithium GL2. I got this stuff too. I got shell grease. That's a little much for this. Like, that will work. Actually, School of the American Rifle, SOTAR. He apparently mixes synthetic oil and synthetic fucking uh, fuel bearing grease, red grease, and makes this slurry of stuff he says he's been using for a long time because it just works. And like that's his job as a gunsmith. But good with what we got here. Everybody's got their own flavor. I cannot believe it. Gloom! Yeah, it's normal. Okay, hold that. Oil move. Well, that's it for that. Just a friction error. Oil beads everywhere when stored. Yeah. Okay. Back. What's also nice about this, Curtis, is the handguard is secured by separate pieces, and these are like steel, whereas this is aluminum. This is steel. Where is it? Powerful magnet. Okay, yeah, that is aluminum. A lot of cheaper, and this is the only thing, the only part of the rifle that this entire guard is attached to. This whole thing is floating. What they call a full float handguard. Um, but a lot of the less expensive ones will have screws on this side, and it just threads into the aluminum on the other side. It's steel screws going into aluminum threads, and you know, it's nice when they're separate like this. And I believe IWI has a sort of proprietary system for how this locks on to the barrel nut. It's also nice is you got that little bit of hangover right between the lower and the guard. Get that on both sides, little lip, and that keeps it from going, you know, side when everything's together. Free float, and yet your 416 is on. And yet your 416 is on. What are you? Pick rail is gay. A Picatinny rail is gay. Why is that gay, Horvath? I mean, does it count that I have 7 sides of M-lock? Well, okay. So the main optic isn't here yet. The mount and the red dot are. So here's the scope canted mount. Holds the scope on it and over. Set this on. Yeah, that fits like that. And this is a secondary optic, so that if your big one has a problem or you're up close, you can turn the rifle a little bit, cant the rifle, have a secondary uh, aiming system. Later, but here's the red dot. The 80 R, what is it? RDO 22. See that little red dot? That's the actual thingy. That. Trying to see the difference. It's a lot more obvious what they are when you're looking at them. But this is one of those shake to wake ones. It'll turn itself off. Apparently, it's good for 7,000 or more hours of battery time. But we'll get that on a bit. I'll go ahead. Actually, I'll put the red dot on the mount, but I'm not going to put the mount on here yet because I'm not going to know exactly where to put it until my main optic gets here so I can position it. Yeah, we might put it on loose. We'll see where. Ooh, oil. Ah, okay. This Streamlight, uh, HLX something, got a mount. It's got a pick mount on it, but it has an M-lock mount as well. I'm gonna swap them out. But this one, yeah. So look up here where I am. Strobe warning. I'm going to face it that way, but this is part of it. Got light. Then a quick tap. You've got freaking seizure-inducing strobe. This takes an 18650, an 187. Well, technically, it prefers to take an 18700 or an 18650 with the 5mm button and protection on it. Working with it. Don't mess with the cord. Came with batteries, but I got some 18700s on the way. So as far as this goes, I'm feeling like being drunk is usually a good excuse. I hear a lot of what is going on here. Picatinny is apparently pointlessly heavy. I can see that. Well, that's why you just don't. That's why, like some of these, that's why you don't get a quad rail because then it's all. Something just happened. Somebody. Let me see. Neil Davids. Get the subscription on the blank screen. Feel free to swing over. Okay. That's where it is. Can confirm quad rails are stupid heavy. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I mean, I'd be fine. I know some of them also come with like a section of pick right here on the bottom, but particularly have a use for that. That's that's a per use. Whatever you need to do. Here. Oh, and yet your 416 is all pick. Oh, okay, that's what. Not my 416. The 416. Right? Blue Loctite and witness marks time. What are you talking about? What am I missing here? What am I missing for recommendation? And most of these screws have blue Loctite on them. This is cover down. Let's see. The thing we have to watch with the flashlight is basically the optics. You don't want to look down your optics and staring at the back of it. So actually, good loosely mount this mount to make sure the 45 is going to be clear. where I put the flashlight. More goddamn torques on this. Come with a torque? Probably not. Maybe it does. Wrenches in here. And one of them is two of them. They're both. Why is the industry just going to Torx wrench now? Low forward rail is good for a bipod. Yeah, I have some add-on. Well, I'm going to be getting a bipod, but I wanted to get all the shit mounted on it first, so I knew what kind of bipod to get. I just slide that down. No, no. Oh no, that's right. So one barrel, not four barrels. No, not four. It just means it's got that grippy shit on all sides of it. They're basically just two different attachment systems. Roughly where it goes. Let me just loosely tighten this down. Oh, okay. Here's the bit. It's those combi things like on top all the way around the tubey bullety thing. There you go. That's a pretty good. That's not like this needs to be perfect, but I might as well get everything bigly. Oh yeah. Oh good. And this is also what's also when you're looking down the barrel, the geometry on this makes it so that when you turn 45, it is centered on the barrel. This centered all the way down so that you don't have any weird things. Like sometimes if the mount is mounted like up high, up low, it's not going to line up quite right when you turn your. This is lined right up. Just makes it a lot easier for zeroing and like setting your scope, for proper distance alignment shot thing. And it just kind of keeps everything. And it gets it out of the way so I can start. So and if I am not wait, that would be right there. That'll put there and then press it. Keep it the way it's going to end up lining up. It'll be about make sure it's not directly in the muzzle brake area. So you're not just blowing the gases directly on it. If that goes there. And that puts it That puts the lens about 1¼ inch behind the muzzle device. Good. So can you fit RGB lasers on a quarter rail, one color for each rail, and when you see them combine into warm white light, so you know you have locked your target? Not yet, but I'm sure we could put lots of pretty lasers around the grip just to confuse the shit out of people. You know, oh, look, it's so pretty. And then you make it mix stuff up. That's right. Yeah, I'm looking for screws that I just haven't had to install yet. Like, where's there aren't any. And a little different. 4 barrels would be something for as far east and south as you can go. I guess if you get M-Lock Picatinny adapters of required length, it would be the best of both worlds. That's why I little adapter. Quick detach. Lots of pick adapters in case I need them. Even if I don't need them eventually. Looks like it's even got a standard 45. Cross-eye jack, just prime. Fuck yeah, dude. Much appreciated. Yeah, hold on, man. Jack. That, oh, wow, that sounds. Oh shit! Look at that. That's off. Hey, cheers for the prime sub. Yeah, I guess for those that don't know, especially if you're new to Twitch, because for some reason you wanted to come hang out with me, a sticker. Any company that sends stickers like that automatically puts them at the top of my list. But yeah, cheers for that. Appreciate it. Is that a Surefire? No, that is a Streamlight. I even got a part number on it. 10 10 tap programmable thing. You can program it to either be a low flashlight, a high flashlight, or high end strobe, which is where I'm keeping it. I'm gonna put the other screw in. But yeah. For those that are here, like you don't really come to Twitch much. If you have Amazon Prime, Amazon owns Twitch, in case you didn't know. So if you have Amazon Prime, you can link your Amazon to your Twitch. And if you're a streamer, let your VOD stay a little bit longer. Like 2 weeks instead of one, I do believe. Or want to support me or any other streamer. Don't have to be me. Extras. Once you're linked, you can do what Jack just did, and you can subscribe on Twitch, which is the same as a member on YouTube. But with Prime Gaming, as they call it, once you merge them together, you get one creator. You can subscribe to them, get that temporary membership for a month. And every month you get another thing to do that. Help support creators, and it doesn't actually do a penny. Which Prime sub things. So just throwing that out there if you're new. Like I said, if you decide to do that, I'm not even saying you got to support me. Just if you want to support any of your homies. But either way, I really appreciate just watching. Where here to have, we're here to relax with firearms, but I mean, really. These, if you've ever worked with 3D printers or stuff like that, you are very familiar with what a T-nut is. These use T-nuts. I'm gonna flip them in there. Apparently there's some easy way to do this, but get it in there, then you wiggle it back and forth because on the back side of the T-nuts are also alignment pins for getting right into this rail. And once it's in, kind of gotta like put towards you. The big noise. Ah, Ed just figured out Prime sub. Thanks, buddy. Ah, now we got that hype train. What'll happen? Feels good. Make sure it actually is being weird. So I can see that it's just a wee bit. Luckily, this is one of those things you do once or twice. Like I said, there's probably easier ways to do this. Actually, see in there. Stop flicking your nuts on screen. Well, you never know where nuts I will be flicking on screen. First Christ, if this was, God, when was it? Was it last year? That Twitch was like, oh, artistic nudity is just fine for everybody. And that started like a 24-hour fucking Twitch porn off of everybody artistically fucking everybody and playing video games naked, but artistically. That was one of the quickest Twitch turnarounds I've ever seen. They're like, oh, yep, nope, sorry, that was an absolute mistake. Got another bing bong. Mediocritus, thank you. Gifting a sub, giving 5 subs out. We got the Sirius, Gavin, Frankie, Norman, Keychain, and something else. About fucking level 3 hype train. Oh shit, appreciate that. God, we gotta. I have enough cheers left for all this. So, cheers to that. To everybody that's clicking buttons, thank you. Are these T-nut shafts machined to high precision? M-lock keeps 0, right? As far as I know, they're pretty high precision. I don't know that I've ever seen an M-lock scope mount, but they once they're in there, like before you tighten it, like it doesn't really move at all. Yeah, thanks for all the support, everybody. It's actually going well for a weird hybrid Twitch only thing here. Okay. All right, so that's on there. That's good. 30. Oh, another thing I like about this is I'm guessing all ARs. I don't know. This little cut right here, my hand is perfect. Just instead of putting it over there or getting like floaty out here, it just like locks. Like I get up in there, but this is a lot of grips don't have this. What do they call it? The beaver tail on it. That works really good for getting in there. Push your hand into it, grip it. Finger comes to here, but I'm not necessarily going to walk around, with a slightly relaxed finger. It locks. Plus, I can actually port the whole rifle off of it. So that's cool. Hold on. Clean some of this. I'm going to have to go through and figure out which. Well, actually, I guess I'll just end up throwing all of this into the gig bag I got today. Where are the scope? Not specifically. Oh, here they are. Here's the Torx bits for the scope. Who knows? They may end up fitting something else on there. Keep them there. Scope thing. This is in the flashlight box. Plated either way, they're just standard things. Here's some extra M-lock. The extra. Fine having extra M-lock. Definitely a good thing. Pick rail mount. That's all. Oh yeah, definitely awesome. Definitely awesome for that. The AR-15 fits most people like most guns are made to high precision. Most of them, yeah. I think most. There are a couple companies out there that be having some issues with precision on certain 20s. There. Throw it in a zipper mini bag or plastic Tupperware. Micro screws walk out of Ziploc bag. Oh yeah, yeah. No, any small stuff is going to be in bags and canvas. I actually have a bunch of small canvas stuff from Milwaukee. When I received my pack out kit for taking over Amazon, it came with a bunch of those little zips. Don't cough near 322. Don't even talk about it. I don't even know why I'm talking about it, because if there's one in a neighborhood, it's probably fucking twitching right now, getting ready to go off. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I will say allegedly, the Sig Sauer P320 and the military variants, the M17 and M18, seem to be having an uncommanded discharge issue, meaning like people are just walking, they're not even touching it, it's in their holster, they're chilling, and it'll just fucking go off if the conditions are right and the tolerances, which seems to be what a lot of people are figuring out. It seems to be a tolerance stack. Like if the sear is just a pinch off and the fucking trigger is just a pinch off and the slides on them are fucking loose. Like, you know, when a pistol, when you rack it back, that slide, most pistols, that is very tight. These things, they have almost a millimeter, some look like a little bit more than a millimeter play. And the scary quote part about that is just like this, how you got the thing that fires up here and the trigger down here. Well, when you got that much wiggle in between these two pieces, you know, like when you get too much play up here, and then you can do this with your fucking pistol, what do you think was going to happen? But they're defending the shit out of their pistol, even though there's so much video evidence. But they keep defending their pistol, saying it's not a problem. And someone has died in the Air Force. At first, it was said to be an uncommanded discharge. But now they're saying that someone may have misreported it, and it's actually a manslaughter. Which still begs the question, did someone try to use the P20's reputation to murder someone? Or did they set the gun down, it went off, and they panicked and said, oh, it just did it itself, which it did, but maybe they were a little more involved. I don't know. But it's just a big hodgepodge of pooty poo. And it's a shame I ordered one of them little like vices, you can just set the thing in, or set the rifle in, but of course it's not here yet. And this is going to be somewhere up here. This comes with double-sided tape, and I have Ranger bands, which are basically just bicycle tire tubes that just kind of help hold shit on, which I'm going to have to ruffle that on, but that's whatever. All right. See, this, this is your, however some people, that, I'm going to do whatever's comfortable, but it's kind of coming out like thumbs up here. Don't chicken wing. Actually, this is nice having the rings on, because now I can actually see where my head's going to be. Right there. Thumb's going to normally be there. So if I want to step it up, I'm going to just put it right there. And when I need it, I can just, okay. That is the pick that's lined up with the edge of the M. Random firing. Yes, it's not a bug, it's a feature. Yeah, I guess they're working with Bethesda now on their, because Bethesda, everything is a feature, not a bug. All right. Now let's see. This thing's covered in oil. Already got a arrow. Man, it's a shame I don't have that fucking block to hold this. Anything that could make it work. Not. All right. Well, actually, let's. Yeah, at least it's a little more level. Right. So to mount that, we have thing. No, it's still floating out there. Where is it at? There's a big thing of double-sided tape. For that randomly landed. Oh, here it is. And it comes with zip ties as well. And little pick wire holders. And a big ass screw. What the fuck is that big ass wood screw? We got a bing bong. Let's hide. Captain Bad, the sexy gentleman is here. Hello there. Why are there two? Did he think you're gonna wooden screw this into something? I don't know. Just for AKs with a wooden barrel. All right. Hydrate. Yes. Everybody, take a drink, take a sip, even if it's coffee. Just get a little moisture in there. I've been dehydrated all week. Bad idea for me. Everything smells like oil. Okay. Well, to help us with this really well. I mean, a double side tape isn't, I don't actually hold it. Most of the people I see with this style switch also have the Ranger bands just to make sure it stays. Oh, wait a minute. Did I turn y'all's music on? Sorry, I forgot to turn on the music. So yeah, I normally have music playing. It's all going great good. Don't use the tape, it fails fast. Well, that's why I'm going to use it and then put the Ranger band on it. That way, the little bit of friction that'll be left from this will be just enough, and the squish in it will embed into the rails, and then the Ranger band will be pretty much what's actually holding it. And it has various sizes. There's some bigger ones in the bottom. So these are just severe duty rubber bands, basically. All right. Sides here. Need a bigger workbench. And these are little pick mounts with wire holder thing in them, which I don't know that we'll need, but we'll see once we get this on. Wants to be right there. Thumb goes straight up and go forward. All right, good. The two rubber caps are plenty. What rubber caps? Oh, what these actually hold that on? Oh, I'll keep that. Keep those in case this doesn't work out. I'd rather have it slightly lower profile using this in Ranger bands or a Razor band. Ranger, sorry, not Razor. Oh, it's awful. Sorry about all the stroby flashy stuff. At that point, if I put the Ranger there, tie that right there. Little guy. Because that'll end up getting hidden by the bands. Isn't that what a conductor does? Adjust the band. Yeah, I guess in a way. Which should have two rubber pieces to lock it on. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. Gotcha. And as long as you're not like running full auto through here, it's not like the zip ties are going to be an issue. There, means I can put that there. Okay. Zip ties for the win all the time. These rubber bands are meant to hold the switch on. Yeah. Just going to double it up. Sorry, brother man. Good. I read that as microsec. Yeah. And if for some reason this just doesn't work out even with the Ranger bands, then do something different. There are other ways to mount it. That's one neat thing about this. A lot of variability. Oh, wait a minute. Be weird. I gotta get the band in there, but I already put that on. I was thinking when they designed this. Most of the time, these they don't spin with the cap. You have to just take everything off. Cool. That way, I can get this band in there. There, and I'll put one up. One thing I've learned about playing the game squad, full auto is in 95% of all cases an absolute waste. Yeah, it's safe. That's probably about right. Real estate. I have no idea what that song is. I believe full auto is pointless most of the time. Yeah, there's, I mean, unless you got a whole group of motherfuckers in front of you. Down got pick covers. Like this, a lot of Picatinny rails, they show up like sharp as shit, but this one's pretty good, obviously. But I am still going to put a cover on top of it just to make sure. Because you know how that goes. Oh, it doesn't hurt now, but as soon as like it drops and you got to catch it real quick or something, suddenly your fingers on the ground or 50 yards downrange, like you know. If I would have thought about it, I think I have an old tire tube out in the garage. I would have just chopped that up. But whatever. For like $2 for a big ass variety pack. Oh look, I even have the Altoids. Yeah, Altoids, the Harper's favorite container. I have a lot of Altoid containers for little stuff. Good little fire kits, little med kits, shit like that. It's great for it. Okay. So that's loosely mounted. That's just stay loosely. Got going. Got the flashlights on. Range of hands. I feel like we're actually getting close to everything I wanted to do today. Give me a moment here. Oh, and for the arms, that's from my understanding, that's about as close as you want to get to that muzzle, which is about like that. Okay. Snug. Fine. Nick, I'm gonna. You know what? Why don't we take just a moment? I'm gonna sit back and bring the microphone with me, and it's probably going to fall on my dick. Supposed to do. All right. I don't need a picture of the trigger group anymore. Let me flip over to Amazon here real quick, because that's where most of this shit came from, because it wasn't on sale anywhere else. Make sure I'm not missing something. You know that thing where you got so much shit you gotta go find the list to figure out if you have everything. All right. See what else we have coming. Lucas Extreme Duty Gun Oil with a needle. That'll be good for taking portable. We got blue Loctite. We got the Mil Spec grease. Big caliber, the gun rags. My optics are showing up on the 18th. So not this, but next Monday-ish. I should have my primary arms scope. The red dots here, this mat's here, the pins are here, the grinder's here, that's here, the levels are here, breech block's here, or bench block. That's it. That's the bag, the mount, that flag, soft gun. Yeah, I got my gun case today. Boy, you want to talk about a budget gun case. Woo! That, and it's already going to be obsolete because I realized it's not going to be long enough for this, plus a suppressor. So I'll just get another one. I can use that, I'm sure, for any other rifle I get eventually. I'm sure I will eventually have a smaller compact rifle. Besides that, that's everything else that's here. It does remind me that, let's see. Well, let's do a little cleanup. You ever get to the point where there's just so much shit on the bench, you're like, wait, a lot of this stuff doesn't even be here. But I'm going to take a second. And you should too. Clive is Clive. Oh yeah. I guess well, my viewers are gonna peace out because Clive is starting his stream. But if you're hanging out, by all means, I'll head over there eventually, depending on how long he goes. But I don't know that we're gonna need to look anything else. Like, I love this little thing. It's actually for gunsmithing. It just comes with a bunch of shit that I don't have any use for as far as the bits go. But quarter-inch bits. So I'll get it sorted as to exactly. Um, no, this isn't a bullet. This is a laser. Mess with that. But yeah, this is actually a gunsmithing tool, and like of gunsmiths on YouTube use it. I saw. I went, oh, okay. Apparently Wheeler is be good for tools. Yes. We're gonna see if the laser is. And let's put some batteries in. It comes with 2 sets of batteries, which is nice. Assuming that these don't last a super long time. Or they were just doing it to make it look better, which whatever. 2 sets of batteries is positive. Either way you look at it. All right. You want me to put these in? Safely. Get the cat toy. Let's make sure we shoot the CCD on the camera to burn. All right, I'm not going to risk putting this, try to run this through the mag. Because since it doesn't have an actual bullet in it, I doubt it'll load right. But that. Keeping it down. Don't slam. I would not recommend slamming the breech on this. Yeah, the breech isn't even seating. That's in there. Oh, well, the laser's coming all the way out. Doesn't seem like it wants to sit fully in the breech. Or in the, sorry, in the chamber. But I'm not going to force it. Either way, that's all the breech. So either way, it does make it out of the barrel. Assuming it's relatively straight, at least straight enough to ready to. Looking down the barrel, it looks dead nuts center. And yes, dead nuts is a technical term. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Oh, that's good. I just wanted to make sure that worked. So that there was no surprise when it came time to use it. It'll probably just fall out. I don't know why it's not fully seating, but as long as it's going in and coming out. Unless that lip. Whatever. Works. the optics show up. Well, the main optic. I'm not going to zero the. Well, the red dot's going to be a little weird to zero since it's at an angle, but figure out how to open this. Working on a rifle. Hardest part, opening the battery. But at least at this point, I'll always be mix and matching batteries because I'm not going to remember which is which, like which ones I used or not. There. Let's take this and put. Actually, no, we'll just leave it on there because that's just chilling. Come on. For some reason it looks like it's. This looks like it's. Kind of loosen some stuff up. See if it sorts itself out. More torque. Bench is almost always meant messy. A neat bench is a sign of a lazy. I always say it as a clean workbench isn't. Clean workbench is just a bench. Right on the rim. I mean, for all I know, it could just be an optical illusion, but just in case. Oh, and the interesting thing about this particular mount is, look carefully, see those two little dots right there? If for some reason I wanted to go over the top, because some people, they'll do a canted red dot with a main scope, or they'll do a main scope with the red dot on top. Originally, I was going to put it on top, but more research and explanation, I'm going to start on the side. Take it out. So it is nice that this is a slightly more versatile mount. It is a YouTube. Wrong way. It is a Amazon mount from Monstrum, but people are saying Monstrum, even though they're fucking like a quarter of the price of a lot of other scope mounts. Half, quarter, depending on what it is. Man, they're good. Give it a shot. Boot Panic going to lives. Yeah, by all means. Like, I know firearms ain't for everybody. And I'm not trying to shove it down anybody's throat. You know, hang out if you want. Don't. And you don't have to. And since you have 3 in a row right here, make sure you keep going along them over and over again, because when you tighten one, it loosens the other one. If you've never experienced that, just trust me. Go until everything is in its happy nugs. Thought about an optic for my Glock 43X, which is what I'll be getting in November. And then thought, it's like a 3.5 or 3.25 inch barrel. What will I gain with an optic? Well, I'm going to be putting. Yeah, actually, I'm going to be putting one on mine. Probably very similar to the one I have. Maybe not exactly that one, but see what we got. But definitely a small one, just to give you a little extra help if you got a light distance shot. I mean, iron sights are good, but Like that red dot was like a buck 10, not super expensive, and it does, like I said, it does 6 different reticles. I would say it's a little helpful for faster acquisition of targets. All right, they're a little soft, sticky. Oh well, they punch straight through. Okay. The red dot on a pistol, nearly no matter the size, allows speed and accuracy. Yeah, you will naturally acquire a red dot with your eyes way faster than you're going to be able to, align uh, side, your rear and your front sight. Like hitting 3 things in a row, however your particular sight works or how you have it sighted, it's going to be a lot quicker just to put a red dot and go. Especially with the red dot, it's zeroed right. Like you just point anywhere upper center mass, and you're going to hear what you need to take care of. 3 dots lined up. Yeah, it's a lot easier to put 1 dot on a target than to line 3 dots up across the target, in my opinion, anyway. Plus, something this small, like it's not like it's really anything you would have to check is, from what I understand, certain holsters don't necessarily work with um, sights. Get this on. This is tough. Guess they don't put it on because not everybody wants the rubber mounts on it or something. I feel like that's something you should kind of just. Oh, I thought it was sticky. Okay, that's why. Okay. What thread? Comes with a whole bunch of screws and no instruction manual. Supposed to come with an instruction manual. Didn't see it. Interesting. They have all these different screws, but only one screw is going to fit in there. Top ring. Down and here's all the metric. Okay. I think this is the top ring screw up here. And this is going to be a relatively short screw. Yeah. These tapered. Some of these are standard and some are metric. Switched away from the fire. Now watching Clive stream. Oh yeah, do what you need. These extra screws that don't fit anything. I mean, I guess they fit something. I need a tapered. This is what I'll probably do. Why 3 of them came out, not sure, but that's fine. And that's the red size. Hold on to theirs. Oh yeah, I'm holding on to all the screws. Holy shit. I know different ones will have different thicknesses and that. add on the hole. This over and holes. And yeah, when the main optic shows up, I'll stream again. Because there's going to be at least one more setup video for this. Like, I'm not in a hurry to get out to the range. Range day will be coming. Too tight. Yeah, it'll take some getting used to. And I'll show you this, you know, we're getting close to the end, so I'll end up showing this on the big camera. And obviously, once you get stuff like this on there, you can't just necessarily toss your shit around. But you can toss your shit around. I don't know that this is necessarily one of those, but see how it does. Long run. All right, that we got that. What else we got on the Amazon? Anything else we get? I was so looking forward to the range today, but with the event going on, I didn't want to interfere. Yeah, that's always a good thing not to get in the way. Oh, that's right. I want to put that pick cover on the. And I'll grab the. Actually, the range bag. That's going to take just sorting on it to find stuff like that. There. Well, pick cover. Put the one across the top here. I said, there's your tanny rail, Picatinny rail. These fill in the kit. There you go. The width and width. Now you still have a good grip, but there is no way you could accidentally fuck yourself. That leaves a little bit of room up here. Well, yeah, I mean, you're not going to run this over the separation right there between the handguard and the upper. Yeah. So that's pretty much all I'm going to need for that. I'm not going to put any on the front. I don't know having the front. But good means I will get used on something, or I'll just give a couple to add. Oh yeah, yeah. Crap. Taking the big thing here goes down. Yeah, it would make sense because then it's need a strap. Put a little quick disconnector, guys. This end. And an adapter. Probably give it that good cat hair treatment. Pretty much most of my carpet is just made of cat point. This we're just going to stick on the. Oh, wow. Obviously, I can move it later if need be. Thinking there. But I'll go with the bigger one. I know it. Well, in there too. That kind of keeps it out of your visibility range. That'll keep it a little bit off. Yeah, actually, we'll put it there. Try that. I knew it was going to be a trap shoot. I would have shown up with a 870 Wingmaster. Definitely sitting on a pile of shotgun. What is an 870 Wingmaster? One of those ones you walk in and everybody for 5 miles knows that you're at the range. I'm basically just going to have a big fucking screw holder. Gauge Remington pump action. Okay. There should be. I think this would come with an empty bit holder. Does it? Would think that work little thing. So we gotta figure out which. Bigger. Bigger one. Is it definitely you know, get some more tools. Oh, where's the that bit's out of this kit? Yeah, correct. All right. See, that's inch. Surprisingly, how little torque you got to put on these things. They seem to mostly stay in place, but definitely hit up your fasteners whenever you're dealing with your. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I forgot the most important thing to check. Pretty much the main reason I got that. Oh, that. Oh, and it locks it. That's this one doesn't just spin off. Quick disconnect system. Oh, different, but I can see how it's really good. You got to push down to pull up. Worry about setting the Beans. Double check or Amazon. Yeah, that's pretty much everything we're doing today. Not bad. All right. Definitely lost a bunch of people in class. Started. Well, this is big or well, same actually same fucking camera. So this is where we're stopping today. Trip wrap. This it's snug. It's just not tight. But we, like I said, we could. The laser works. Oh wow, the take up on that is fucking butter now. Bit of take up is a little bit of slack before you get to it, and it used to be kind of crunchy. It is fucking butter smooth now. This is like even when I got it yesterday, I was like, this is a really light trigger. It feels like a light trigger to me. It feels lighter than Mike's, but Mike's is apparently really low, so I don't know. But I am going to order a trigger tester. It's like 10, 15. But yeah, don't get your fingers caught in it. Holy shit. Like there is just such a light pull on this. I can't imagine what an aftermarket trigger would feel like. Man. But here we go. Starting to look like something a little special. When you're holding these, don't like when you see me holding it like this, the weight is on my thumb on the frame, not on the magazine. Don't really want to hold it by the magazine. Shouldn't be a problem, but if anything, you might pick up your magazine. And that's a magazine. Clip. Clip goes in a car. I think a Garand. Yeah, Garands have clips. Yeah. Find them all the time in Scum. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're going to get ready to raid Big Clive here in a couple minutes. Besides that, weigh the whole rifle. Now weigh it. Yeah, actually, I'm going to weigh it at some point. Started at, what, 6.9 pounds? Lands that. Renex, I had see that name. Geisley trigger put in mine. Those are like, Geisley triggers are like Cadillac. If I would have bought the slightly upgraded version of this, it would have come with a Timney trigger, which is an upgrade. But it comes with a standard Mil Spec trigger. That's some Mil Spec triggers, they vary. This just feels like I don't know if it's a little different or it's just I'm just remembering the trigger pull on the rifle differently. But it feels good. And now that it's polished, it feels a little bit better, so I may not have to replace that. Oh, and for those that are curious, the furniture here and here, that's B5. This is the enhanced SOPMOD uh, buttstock, the P23 uh, grip, and that's a Magpul, just, MVG, Mo vertical grip. I have an AVG too, but I kind of like this one better. Uh, I mean, it may take some tweaking here and there as you start putting rounds through it, but feels like a good start. Gotta watch leaning because now it has accessories. Necessarily, I mean, granted, yeah, I know a lot of this stuff is made tough and it's made to be a tool, but we'll be able to like toss it around. Yeah, Geisley. Yeah, it is Geisley. Yeah. I was just watching something on that looking at polishing the triggers, like a review. I've been watching trigger polish videos. Just put rounds through it. It's hungry and wants to eat shells. Yes, it does. That'll be coming. Probably not going to bother until it's complete. Uh, at least until it has the optic on it. And at that point, after the optic's here, I'll see how far out the suppressor is. Roughly, because that's kind of a guessing game. But yeah, we'll see. Then I'm going to have to figure out. Hope that this muzzle is so tight that it fucks with the barrel. Remove it. I'll have discussions, look up stuff for that. Make sure I don't putting the little can on it. But I guess that's about it for this particular stream. Go ahead and end the YouTube side of it now. So if you're watching, well, actually, no, because some of you are typing. Did you get your release yet? Not yet. A couple days. I guess I'll end YouTube here in a moment, and then we will read on Twitch. The Bears reach. Guess Clive's still going. Clive still going? Big slash read. Big. Oh, there it is. Read. Okay. Big. I don't know what happens when you hit enter. I think it queues up to go. But either way, I'll hit that button. We'll figure it out on Twitch here in a second. Everybody that suffered through YouTube, appreciate that. If you're having issues speaking on Twitch like C2S, I don't know what to tell you because my settings seem to work for everybody else. Don't know, but anyway, YouTube. Yeah, hold on, Twitch. YouTube. Thanks. I'm going to kill that, and then we're going to try the rate thing on Twitch. I'm going to stop YouTube on this computer. Thank everybody for hanging out, watching, all that good stuff. And I'm going to stop that and be on Twitch. So thanks again, YouTube. I'll see you guys later.